Hello everyone, how's it going? It is me, Jack, here, and welcome to episode number 10 of the Bolton Wanderers Football Manager 2024 save. And it's the start of season 2, where we look to try and get into the championship this season around. If you missed the last episode, I highly recommend you check it out. It was the summary of the playoffs, where I'm going to spoil it for you now. If you haven't watched it, click off now. But if you have watched it, you remember that we unfortunately were defeated to Wrexham. However, we have tried to spend some money in this window to put us in a better position to get us promoted. And I'll be really honest with you, it's been a really challenging transfer window in order to ship players out and to bring some in. However, I'll show you what this has looked like the pre-season. We have lost 2 games against Birmingham City and Burnley, obviously 2 championship sides there, and we've beaten Atherton Collieries, Bamber Bridge, Gala FR and Gateshead. Today we're playing Peterborough United in what will be the first game of the League One season. However, what you want to know is the transfer business that we are currently doing. I'd ignore this page for now because we're definitely still having to bring players in. I'm probably about 2 players short, I'd say, maybe 3. So I'll definitely, after this video, I'm going to be continuing the transfer window off camera. And you can see I'm trying to bring back Delano Bergzorg, but I'd rather bring in Nathan Broadhead, as he looks like he could be a really good player. However, it's not the first bid I've put in here for him because he's just not really interested. Bergzorg is interested and is very close to sealing a deal, but I didn't really want to bring him in. However, with the lack of players that are available, he looks like he could be the best option. And Charlie Patino, someone I really want. However, he, again, isn't really interested. He's at Deportivo La Coruña at the minute and looks quite good, bit slow, but looks really good. I think he could make a big impact for us in League One, but we'll have to wait and see. Not sure about this guy yet. My director of football put a bid in for him, but he's wanted by some good teams, so we'll scout him and see what he's like. However, since the last episode then, we have signed a few players and let a few go. Carlos Mendes Gomez has gone to Huddersfield Town for 350k. Sean has gone to Rotherham United for 450k. 2 players really that we thought we didn't really need. Chris Farino at defence has gone to Charleroi, which is where Gethin Jones went. He's gone there for £200,000. And Lawless has gone as well to Panachalki, back to his hometown in Greece for only 20k. And Dan Nlundalu has gone to Pau FC in France, as he was on loan at Cambridge United, but wasn't really someone that I thought would make an impact for us this season. However, we started the window off phenomenally by bringing in Gerard Deulofeu. I think I tried, if you remember, to bring him in January, but he wasn't interested. He didn't get picked up by a club, changed his asking price, only wanted 12.5 grand a week. So we decided to pull the plug and bring him in, and he's definitely a really, really good winger at the moment. He is injured, but looks like he could do a great job for us. I'm just hoping these injuries aren't going to be consistent. We've got a few players fairly susceptible to injuries, so it's all about balancing the squad this season. But I think he could be a really good, impactful player. He signed a contract till 2027, and his value is really high. So even if he doesn't make a big impact, we could sell him, bring in a good stab of money, and then hopefully replace him with someone probably even better. But for what you get, he's a great winger in terms of inside forward or as an inverted winger. So we'll have to see what we do with him. Alex Bangura's coming at left back. Now I thought we've used Borough once for a low player. Let's use him again. And he's actually a really solid choice there at left wing. At left back. Could play at left wing. Got some great attributes going forward. Very quick. Okay off the ball. Really determined. Love his crossing ability. And I'm hoping with Matheson on the right-hand side, he can be another attacking option on the left as we look to try and get promoted this season. He's played a few games for Middlesbrough en route to their playoff final defeat to Sunderland in this save. And that just brings me there to the club vision. This season, the objective is to get into the playoffs. However, I feel that we've got to try and go one step further this season and get ourselves into the Championship, because the longer we stay here, the harder it's going to be to get out of the Championship. It does say here that we're in takeover talks, but I don't think anything's really happening at the moment in terms of like a tycoon or a massive takeover. I think it's just Sharon Britton stepping down and someone taking over from her, but I'll keep you informed with regards to that. But apart from that, nothing really else has happened. This guy's just a youngster from the academy. Same with Cage, Roman Shin. The best, there's Joe Snowden as well, and the best one is kind of this guy. He's a regen, Zin Vai, I want to say. Ball winning midfield. He's got some alright attributes for 19 years of age, but he's going to go on loan because he hasn't successfully got a work permit, and I didn't want to allocate any SC players to him. So if you look at the squad, it actually looks really small, only 21 players, but we have still got a decent bit of money to hopefully bring in an extra centre mid and a striker, which are the positions I'm looking for at the minute because I feel like we're light there. But apart from that, I've tried to flesh out the scouting staff as well, as we had a few people poached. Got a new assistant manager, which I believe is Thomas Franks, IRL assistant manager. And I don't think there's anything else to show you. In terms of centre mid, we looked at Victor Torp to bring in as a permanent player, but he chose Espanyol over us. And I think, I can't remember the teams that came up in the end from last season, but the playoff winner was Accrington Stanley. So they've joined us this season along with Colchester, Port Vale and MK Dons. And relegated was Portsmouth, Millwall and Derby County. So if we look at the season preview, yes, we've lost some players. Yes, we've only brought in 2. We're still expected to finish third in behind Millwall and Huddersfield Town. However, I think let's stop talking. Let's just get right into this first game of the season here at home against Peterborough United. Let's start the season off well and try and get all 3 points. This is the team that we will use for the first game of the season. Baxter will go in goal for us. We've got Matheson at right back, Santos, Toll and Bangura. Thomason will be the ball winning midfielder with Benassi and Sheehan. Randall on the right, Collins on the left and John McAtee up front. I think you can definitely see we need a bit more cover here in midfield as we're lacking a few options. I'm keeping Aaron Morley as a ball-winning midfielder. He had an excellent season last season for Wycombe Wanderers. I thought he will do us well, hopefully, as a backup to Thomason, as we had Matet doing that last season. And I think another person in midfield with Sheehan. Wingers, I think, will be all right. We do look kind of light there, but we'll have to see if there's still room in the budget. We might be able to bring in another winger. But I think strikers, we need a really, really good quality striker, as we lacked the goals. Apart from Collins, we lacked another 20, 25 goal striker, which I think would do us the business and help us get over the line in terms of finishing those top 2 places. So let's just say to the boys, let's make the advantage count today as we start season 2. It's going to be very exciting. I really can't wait for it. And as I say, last season was obviously so painful. When you think about it, we nearly lost our job. Then we got into the playoffs on the final day. We lost the playoff final in a bad sort of fashion to Wrexham. I think this is the season. We've got to start it right. We've got to try and put a stamp on League One this year and hopefully get into those top 2 places and not have to deal with the whole playoff palaver that we did last time round. So let's start well in this first game. Brilliantly, straight away, Luke Matheson picks up the ball, plays a pass to Collins, who knocks it with a delightful header to Sheehan, back to Aaron Collins. We've kept hold of him this season. Never nearly putting it into the back of his own net there as Collins hit the post. But Collins we really had to keep hold of. I think he's another player that hasn't actually had any interest this season, but will score us goals, and we hope will do so this season. Santos goes in defence. Obviously, we didn't have him for the large part of the season due to his ACL injury. He is looking to run down his contract though, as well as Dakris Cogley, but he hopefully will be able to use him this season. John McAtee. Is this the start of a really strong season for him? There was question marks about whether we were going to keep him this year. I haven't had any bids, but I was debating whether to put him on the transfer list. And I thought, you know what? No, I'll give him this season because him and Adebayo, I think, are good League One players still. And he's just proved it there as he's made it Bolton 1, Peterborough United 0. Great start to this game, but there's a highlight immediately after that. Thomason with an interception, but the ball falls back to Peterborough United. Lindgren turns well, shoots, but that is a comfortable save, and Nathan Baxter will be hoping that the ball continues to have efforts like that for the rest of the game. Bangura's made an excellent start, as well as Marco Benassi, on a player that's contract runs out at the end of this season, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's 29, but susceptible to injury, so I've sort of held back on renewing his contract for this season to see how he does. He wins that header there, and we regain possession of the football. Collins has been found from Sheehan, back to Thomason. Thomason finds Josh Sheehan, who plays it back to Thomason. Lovely link-up play in the midfield. Benassi has Randall in acres of space. Randall shoots, but it hits the post for the second time this half. Joel Randall misses an opportunity to make it 2-0 to the good. But could we get another one before half-time? Benassi has it. Plays it to Santos. I think that duo in defence today, Santos and Toll, I'm hoping we have a full season of them, because I just think that is a really strong pairing that will block out anything that anyone comes at us. But I'm hoping, obviously, they both stay fit. Luke Maddison can continue how he did last season. He's developed well. He had a little bit of interest, not massive amounts. I know Wrexham put in a bid for him, but he's. I think I've agreed with about two or three players that if Southwood, I think, was one as well. If we reach a value of like a massive amount of money, then they can go. But I don't think they'll end up going for that kind of money. So I'm hoping they'll stay for this season. Bangura plays a great ball in the area, and John McAtee is able to just put the ball wide of the target. But that's a really, really strong start. We started this season exactly how we ended the last, really strong, as we've created lots and lots of chances in that first half, but just haven't been able to put the ball at the back of the net. Dominating possession, dominating XG, this is what we need. A good start. I know we got a draw on the opening day last season, so doing better already, as Collins finds Bangura. Bangura puts it back to Collins, he shoots, and that is an excellent save from Bilakapic in goal for Peterborough United, stopping our attack from getting a second here. Benassi will take the corner kick, puts it in the area. Toll heads it to McAtee, and McAtee's unable to direct it on target. 60 minutes nearly played now. We have obviously got some options on the bench. Aaron Morley could come on. We've kept George Johnston as well at defence. I know we spoke about him, but I think he'd be a great backup this season. To Toll and Santos, should they get injured. There's a free kick here for Sparks, who shoots, and that would have been annoying if they'd have scored that, but Baxter is able to keep them out as he looks to keep this clean sheet. Sparks will take the corner ball, though. Finds Poku. Oh, he's beating the defender, and the ball sails wide. But is that just a sign that Peterborough United are coming back into this game? We'll pause it on the 70th minute, and we'll bring on Aaron Morley to see what he is able to do. Collins hasn't had the best of games today, and that's what I mean. We haven't really got... If we do bring in Bergzog, then we have got another winger option, which is big for us, but we haven't really got anyone else out wide, apart from Collins and Randall at the minute, and Delafeu, of course, who's injured, that can change a game. We'll take off... Don't know who else to take off, really. We'll take off Matheson for Dacros Cogley, and we will bring on... Do we put Bangura slightly more forward as a winger? I suppose that could work, and then we can bring in a C2-2. We'll do that. Make a difference in this second half, boys. I'm just thinking, do I close it out and sort of defend this 1-0 lead? But I'm swaying more that way. However, we have intercepted the ball here. Bangura's on the left-hand side, can play a pass, but he is not played it very well there. He should have been in the position that he was playing the ball to. Nevitt has it now. Finds Kiprianu to Wallin. Wallin finds Slimwee. 82nd minute. Peterborough United have definitely just got that edge now, haven't they? As they have possession of the ball. Jones loses it to Benassi. Benassi finds Joel Randall. There's an overlapping support here, but he finds Benassi. Can he get it back out wide? No, back to Morley. 1-2 played. Back to Santos. Lovely. Just find the pockets, don't have to rush there. He passes as Dacus Cogley has lots of space on the right hand side, finds McAtee, and John McAtee doubles his tally and makes it 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers. Brilliant stuff from him. Could he get a hat-trick before the end of this game? Let's wait and find out. We'll take off Benassi there, who's had a great game. We'll also take off Santos for Johnston, because he has recently come back from another injury. That's why he lacked in match sharpness. But we'll keep it like that for now. Dacus Cogley made a great impact there, getting the assist for that McAtee goal. But that concludes things for the first game of the season 2 at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Bolton 2, Peterborough United 0. Brilliant start. 2-0 victory. Millwall showing there that what they're all about as they win, and Peterborough United head to the bottom of the league table. But solid start as we look to try and do something this season. I don't want to be having a meeting with any staff members this year. I just want to plough on and have a really positive season. This is the issues at the minute. So Tor was upset that he couldn't leave. Same with Southwood. Same with Johnston and Aaron Morley. The managerial support still sits at average, so if a few bad results come our way, they are going to have a negative impact on me. But we are still growing as a manager. The reputation isn't as such, but who knows? If we can have some better results than we did this time last year, then we might be able to have a really special season. That is the plan. However, if you have enjoyed the start of season 2, please do hit the like button, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll catch you for the next episode of season 2 very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.